Hello and welcome to the third episode of Magical Journey Ahead with me, your host, Journey. As I promised you, I will talk about my very first magic mushroom trip. And last time we covered set and settings, so if you haven't listened to that, it's very important to have the right mindset and the right setting and that you feel safe in your environment, and if you choose to trip with people, that you're with the right people. So maybe check that out before you start tripping. But for now, let's dive into it. Let me tell you about my very first trip on magic mushrooms, or in my case, magic truffles. Let me tell you something. Nothing you ever experience will compare to what you feel when you do it the first time, when you do it right, when you're in the right mindset and everything just works out for you. And I also have the feeling like when you do it the first time, it's the most intense so far. I have to admit, I've been chasing that feeling for a long time after that, and it never came back the way it did the first time. It was like trips are always different. There's no comparison, obviously. Hmm. So yeah, my first upcome, I have to say, like I was, like I told you before, like I was shivering, I was cold, and I got myself a blanket, and I was like, okay, what's happening? And I calm myself with meditation music, which is so important because if it's too quiet in my living room, I hate it. I can't do it. And I felt when it came, like I felt so connected to everything. Even like my plants in the living room, they felt like entities. They felt like they had a life, like their own personality and stuff like that. And I realized how much I liked the round leaves compared to the pointy leaves, because the pointy leaves always felt a little bit like stabby. I don't know. And things just started shifting and flowing like my blanket. It looked like the fabric is like a river and it's flowing. And I looked at one of my pillows with the tiger on it, and the tiger started walking. And it was just, I have a painting from an artist I love. Her name is Charmaine. I can link her in the captions below. I swear to God, that girl just knows what she's drawing. I'm pretty sure, like, she's been on something too while she was drawing it. I'm not, like, I don't know if that's true. It's just a feeling. So, but I looked at that painting and it just came to life. So, my first trip was very visual. And even though I felt very, very nervous during the upcome, and I don't like the feeling of losing control, which is a big issue for me, probably for a lot of people. And I had a bad experience before with losing control on a substance that ever since then I had like a little bit of panic attacks when it comes to this, so I had to learn how to calm myself and to regulate my emotions. But with this, it's just a short time of upcoming, so it takes like 60 minutes for the truffle to kick in, I would say. And after that, everything is fine. There is no fear. There's only openness, understanding, curiosity, and this is the mindset I want you to always have. Always, always tell yourself that you're safe, because you are, and whatever comes up is whatever you need to see. So I always approach, like, even if I have like a difficult thought that's coming up or something where where I feel a little bit judgmental about myself, I always tell myself, like, okay, show me what I need to see. And with this, you just loosen up your resistance, because the more you resist, the more it pushes against you. And I can guarantee you, whenever you're open and just let it flow and just let whatever wants to happen happen, it will be way easy and way more enjoyable for you. And yeah, my first trip was just, it was such a connection. There was this tele telepathic voice, I would say. There was something communicating with me, explaining how the world was working, kind of. And that was just you just it's an experience you can never describe to anybody. It's something like when you come out of it, you cannot talk about it because you don't have words to express what just happened. So even this podcast is just really hard to put into words, but whoever's done it will know exactly what I'm talking about. And I just felt so connected to something, to a higher source, and that higher source was very loving and just tried to explain to me what this world is about and why we're here and why things are the way things are and why we are human and why we need the ego and yeah. So for example, the ego is there to make us live. Like if we don't have an ego, we will be kind of dead. Like there's you came to this earth to have a human experience, so there need to be certain barriers in your brain to have a human experience. If there weren't limitations in your brain to the world around you and how you perceive it, you wouldn't need to be a human. That's just basically the message that was that I was sucked out of it. I don't know. And it was always like when I tried to ask questions, it was always like kind of shutting me down. I got more and more tired and I started yawning because whatever this communication was like, just shut up and listen. Please just let me explain. Everything will be fine, you know. And yeah, so yawning is also a thing that happens. I had to Google it because I was very concerned. And yeah, and I also tried out to have a different experience with a different type of music. I was just very curious on where I could go with my environment, and it was just so funny. I was listening to something from Skrillex, and I'm not a Skrillex fan. I never listened to his music. I do love Fred again. That's why I know Skrillex as well, and I've never been into EDM that much. But at that time, it was just I saw colors and in my mind when I was listening to the music, and even like a hedgehog just in my mind, the picture of a hedgehog, and I didn't know where that was coming from. And after my trip, I did my research, obviously, and one of the album covers from Skrillex was a hedgehog. So there was this energy inside the song. And I feel like a lot of music you can there's artists out there who know exactly what they're doing, and the music and their frequencies and whatever they put into it, you can just feel it. And sometimes there's just songs that are like, mm, yeah, okay. I don't know if it's just me, if it's something that everybody feels in a different way, but I always have good experiences on EDM, Fred again, Skrillex, many others actually. And if you're more into R&B, I love Chris Brown songs. On Shrooms, it's just there's so much going on, especially that one album he did, which was called Indigo. Like it's just a shower of symbols and colors, really amazing. So yeah, basically all I can tell you is just play around with it, find out what it means to you, because for me, shrooms changed my life. It changed my mindset. Everything I knew kind of shifted. I felt so connected to everything and everyone. It's just such a mind altering experience. And everyone I ever met like said the same. So just, yeah. It's a knowing. For me, the first time it was more like a knowing than a conversation with the universe. It just got planted into my head, kind of. I don't know how else to describe it. Maybe some of you have had similar experiences. If you did, please let me know. I would be very interested in that. One thing I also did is like look myself in the mirror. Like they don't recommend that because sometimes it gets very visual and you could see stuff that is scary. I did one time, I can tell you later about that. But for me, it was just looking at myself and my face started shifting into an old woman with a lot of wrinkles and stuff. And I just started laughing because in that moment I felt like this is so ridiculous. Everybody is just about, oh, you have to be beautiful, you have to get Botox, you have to get this and that. Especially as a woman, you are always only worth your appearance sometimes. And I just started laughing because we all get old. And one day we all will not look our best anymore. And it's just ridiculous to define yourself only through how you're looking. So that was a very positive experience. I also went outside, which was kind of I wasn't I wasn't on my peak, so I have to say like because my feet get wobbly when I'm on peak and you're very relaxed and it's a little bit hard to walk, but I went outside because I have a park next to me and I just wanted to have the experience and wanted to know more about the shroom. And it's just so funny how ugly it feels to be on concrete and to look around and see what the world did with this earth and how we live. And it just felt so dead to me. And in the park, it was a totally different experience with all the trees around and the grass, and I could feel through my feet the energy of the earth just rising up. I didn't stay long because I was afraid that people will notice the little weird lady in the middle of the park walking around like she's high. And there were children, so I just stayed low key and went back quite soon. But it was a very pleasurable experience. Funnily enough, it got me thinking about the war on drugs because people in the 70s, they all took something and they felt that connection to everything. So a lot of our environmental inventions, like something to save the environment, save nature, and stuff like that, a lot of those things happened in the 70s because people didn't want to destroy their home anymore. So it and they didn't want to work and they didn't want anybody to tell them what to do and they wanted to be free and have a happy life. So it makes a lot of sense to start a propaganda against drugs. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's obviously bad drugs out there too that destroy lives, destroy families, etc. But plant medicine that's been around for ages, centuries, mm, not so much, but it wakes people up. So you don't have your little soldiers anymore. You don't have people who say, like, yeah, I would like to have a 9 to 5 job working my ass off for somebody else. And yes, and I do overtime and it's all included in my contract. So I don't get paid for that either. Oh, yes, and I don't like to have free time. And there's only like 1 week in the year I can take off for holidays, depending on where you're from. So it would make a lot of sense. I don't think they had the best interest in mind for the people because everything that you regulate, there will be a way people get around that, and that makes it unsafe. So at least if you would regulate it, you could be sure what's inside. But that's a topic for another time, and it's very controversial. I think not a lot of people. I don't know. I don't know what other people think. You let me know. And to come to a conclusion for this episode, I think plant medicine is very healing when you're open to it, when you use it in a safe way for yourself and for others. It was very mind altering for me in a good way. You don't have to be afraid, though you will feel very nervous in the beginning, probably. And since even after some years, I always feel like, oh my God, this time I took too much. But nobody ever died from plant medicine, not that I know of. Correct me if I'm wrong. And it's just a great experience I can recommend. So, yeah. Thank you so much for listening to this episode. I will have another episode out soon. I'm not quite sure what I will be talking about. Do you want to hear more about challenging trips, or would you like to know more about sexual energy and tripping? You just let me know, and then I can adjust my podcast a little bit to your needs as well. Thank you so much. Bye bye.